Hello dear homesteaders. So it's almost time to plant wheat. Yes, wheat. We need good wheat because most of the bread in stores is very unhealthy and very few people know why exactly it's unhealthy. Of course the wind picked up, so sorry about the noise. I may have to redub it at home. But the ideas range from the suspicion that the wheat is not really organic, the wheat sold in, I'm talking about the wheat and bread in North America. It's of terrible quality, and this is not a conspiracy theory. People get sick, people cannot tolerate wheat, they have wheat allergies, and the bread makes them sick. How can bread make you sick? Bread is the most basic food, biblically endorsed by Jesus himself, I might say. And bread should be fine for everybody. And it is the North American version of the wheat bread, because people from the States and Canada, when they go to Europe, they eat whatever grain products are available in whatever country: France, Slovakia, Italy, Sweden. Well, I'm not sure about Sweden actually, but probably. And they are fine. They can eat pasta, they can eat buns, breads, whatever. The point is, there's something seriously wrong with bread in North America. Planting your own wheat is the only logical choice. But what if the wheat itself, if the grains, the kernels, are corrupted some way and they will not produce good bread? So I've done a lot of reading on this, because there's no doubt that bread in the US and Canada is very inferior. It's just unhealthy. And I've done a lot of reading on the causes of that, possible causes, and I've come to the conclusion that it must be the way that the bread is that the grains are milled, how they are ground. Basically, grinding in North America happens in industrial mills at a very high speed, which affects the quality of the flour. The nutrients are killed because the high speed produces high heat, and I don't know what else, but that's the reason that the flour will not give you a good bread. And that's why you see some places advertising stone milled flour. And that might be an answer, but it's always, if you have the means to do that, is always the best to have your own bread. Now, I've tried to secure some European grains, which is not easy in Canada, because Canada prides itself on their own wheat, and it's supposedly one of the best in the world. But somehow, I can't believe this. Flies, the beginning of May. But somehow the bread doesn't turn out very good. So I don't understand how the flour, how the grains, the kernels, the wheat can be so good if the bread is not that great. I bought organic Red 5 wheat from a company in Ontario called 1847, and supposedly very good. If it's organic, it has to be non-GMO. So I planted that here, and I also, for an experiment, ordered quite expensive Red 5 grains from this heirloom seed company in Manitoba, I think, and it's the same Red 5 wheat. So I'm going to plant it right next to the organic, the one from Ontario, and we'll see if there's any difference. I also ordered some wheat called Garnet wheat from the same Heritage Harvest heirloom company, and we'll see how that one tastes. This is very few seeds. I'm going to actually open this here to show you how expensive this works out to be, because this was like $3 or $4, this little pocket here, $3 or $4, and you get I don't know how many seeds you cannot see, but there's maybe 20 seeds in this. So if you are desperate and you want to build up your own supply of wheat, you can start with this, but it's not going to be in the first year that you will be making your own bread. I also bought bread. I tried desperately to buy bread from Eastern Europe, but it wasn't easy, and I ordered something from Poland, which is wheat, sprouting wheat. So people buy it just to eat it in salads, but that wheat can grow, and mine is already growing here. I planted that wheat. It's these pathetic little. That's that Polish Italian, because I ordered that from Poland, and it was expensive with the shipping and customs. It's just a whole adventure. But when the wheat came, it turned out that it was actually grown in Italy. It's Italian via Poland to Canada. So we'll see how it grows. I also planted, so that was planted over winter, last fall. Maybe that's why it didn't really sprout that well, but I was willing to experiment, and I saved the other half of that wheat for spring planting, which is now. So I just planted, and we'll compare how that wheat fares. So I have wheat from Italy, Poland. I have wheat from Ontario, from Manitoba, and I try to buy wheat from a Russian store here in New Brunswick. I hate these flies. I just hate them with my full hatred, like King David would say. They like to fly right into your nose or into your eyes or ears. They are very insolent that way. Unbelievable. This is such a curse here. But anyways, I try to buy Russian wheat before this whole thing with Russia-Ukraine thing started, and they were running low on flour already. There is a store in Moncton, but they had some grains, kernels, but unfortunately they are not meant to be sprouting seeds, because they are just not sprouting. And that's what some companies do. I didn't think they did that in Russia as well. I would love to have some Russian wheat, but unfortunately it's not going to happen, because they must have sprayed the seeds with some what is it called, anti-sprouting agent, and they're not growing. So I'm going to grind them. I already actually ground them and use them for bread, and they're okay. I grind them in KitchenAid on low speed, so it doesn't come out the same as commercial flour. It's not white. I don't know why it's brownish. Maybe it's just dirt. But it tastes okay. But it's not so much as it tastes, because sometimes you can get semi-decent tasting artisan bread in some bakery, but it's how it makes you feel. No, how it makes you feel in your digestive system. So this is my adventure with wheat. I can't coexist with these flies. But anyways, this is the time to plant wheat, get some little seeds, experiment, build up your own supply to be healthy. And bread should be our basic food, and it should always be healthy and good.
The next message I'll have will be about wine.
Because bread and wine are those two for the Lord's Supper or communion, however you call it, that Jesus would eat and drink all the time. And now those two just taste terrible and are very unhealthy for us, but they shouldn't be. So I encourage you to grow wheat. Take care. Bye-bye.